5 morning habits that can make you a millionaire. Before the world even stirs, your future is being decided. Millionaires don't wait for opportunity. They create it the moment they wake up. While most hit snooze and scroll through distractions, winners take control of their first 90 minutes. This isn't about working harder or longer, it's about starting smarter. These 5 morning habits separate the ordinary from the unstoppable. They're simple, powerful, and proven by those who've built millions from scratch. If you want to change your life, it begins with how you start your day. Stay with me, and I'll show you exactly what to do to become unstoppable. The millionaire mindset starts before the world wakes up, long before the phone starts buzzing, before emails pile up, and before the demands of the day pull you in 1,000 directions. There is a quiet window, a sacred space that the most successful people on the planet guard with intensity. It's not just a time to sip coffee or glance at the headlines. It's the battleground where the day is either won or lost. This space, these early hours, are where millionaires build their advantage. They don't stumble out of bed and react to life. They rise with clarity and intention. In that quiet, there is power. It is in the silence of the morning that ideas are born, fears are faced, and discipline is refined. The wealthy understand something the average person doesn't: that success is rarely about dramatic breakthroughs. It's about small, consistent decisions made in obscurity, no audience, no applause, just a choice, again and again, to show up for yourself before you show up for the world. That's why millionaires wake up with purpose. They're not dragging themselves into the day, they're stepping into it like a prepared warrior. Their mornings are not rushed or random, they're deliberate, structured, focused. And this is not because they're naturally more motivated, it's because they've trained themselves to value opportunity more than comfort. They understand that the earlier they rise, the more control they have over their mindset, their actions, and ultimately, this is not about waking up early for the sake of it. It's about owning time before time owns you. In those early hours, there's less noise and less competition. While most people are still sleeping, these individuals are building clarity, discipline, and momentum. They read, they write, they plan, they pray, they work out, they focus on building the person capable of handling abundance. Because money doesn't come to the person who wants it the most, it comes to the person who is most prepared to manage it. When you observe millionaires closely, you realize something powerful. Their success didn't start with a business idea, a great connection, or a viral post. It started when they decided to stop wasting their mornings. It started when they began protecting their first hour like it was the most important meeting of the day, because it was. It was the meeting with themselves. So if you're serious about changing your life, don't just copy someone's lifestyle or hustle. Study how they start their day. Emulate their focus, their clarity, their preparation. That's the true starting point. Because long before the money shows up in your account, it shows up in your habits. And those habits, they start before the world even opens its eyes. Let me know when you're ready for the next keynote to be expanded or to begin turning this into a full video script. Your morning determines your wealth trajectory. That might sound exaggerated at first, but when you look closely at the daily lives of high achievers, millionaires, and disciplined individuals, you begin to notice a pattern. They don't leave their mornings to chance. Why? Because they understand a truth that most people overlook. How you start your day dictates how you respond to the rest of it. Your focus, your decisions, your discipline, they are all shaped by what you do when the day first begins. And over time, that consistency becomes your financial future. When your morning is chaotic, reactive, and unfocused, the rest of your day tends to follow suit. You fall behind mentally, You play catch-up emotionally. You lose control of your time and energy. But when your morning is structured and intentional, you build momentum. You step into your day already ahead. You're not reacting to life. You're designing it. Think of each morning like a launch pad. A rocket doesn't begin its flight mid-air. It requires a powerful, stable launch. The same applies to your life. The energy, clarity, and discipline you generate in the first hour of your day becomes the force that pushes you toward your goals. Millionaires know this. That's why they don't snooze alarms, check social media first thing, or roll out of bed without a plan. Instead, they treat the morning as sacred time. Time to prime the mind, energize the body, and align with their goals. And the results of that routine? They compound. You may not see dramatic change in a day or even a week, but do it for a month, 6 months, a year, and your entire mindset evolves. You begin to make better decisions. You feel more in control. You think with clarity instead of confusion. You act with discipline instead of delay. You manage time instead of being managed by it. These are the skills and traits that ultimately lead to wealth, not luck or talent, but refined daily patterns. The morning is where winners separate themselves. While most people are still waking up, the disciplined are already thinking, planning, executing. Not because they're better, but because they've made a decision to respect time. And in the world of wealth, time is more valuable than money. You can lose money and make it back, but wasted time is gone forever. Every morning gives you another chance to either lead your life or lag behind in it. If you want to shift your financial reality, start by shifting your morning. Stop leaving the beginning of your day in the hands of distraction or habit. Take it back, own it, because that first hour is not just the start of your day, it's the steering wheel of your future. And where that wheel points is entirely up to you. Wealthy people don't waste mornings, they weaponize them. While the average person sees the morning as something to survive, high achievers see it as an opportunity to dominate. The early hours are not just a quiet time to drink coffee and scroll through a phone. They are the most strategic part of the day. Those who rise to the top understand that success is not about having more time. It's about using time with sharper focus. The morning is their battlefield, and they step into it like a general preparing for war. There's something powerful about the world being silent. No emails, no messages, no obligations pulling at your mind. Just space. Mental space. Emotional space. The kind of space that allows you to think clearly, plan boldly, and act intentionally. The wealthy don't stumble into this space by accident. They create it. They get up before the noise starts because they know that in those early hours they have a head start, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, financially. Most people wait for motivation. Successful people build systems. Their mornings are filled with deliberate, effective rituals. Whether it's journaling to sharpen the mind, working out to build discipline, reading to feed the brain, or mapping out priorities, every action has a purpose. They don't drift through the morning, they attack it. They understand that a powerful morning doesn't guarantee a perfect day, but it increases the odds of winning. And when you win enough days, you change your entire life. This mindset of weaponizing the morning is not about hustle culture or burnout. It's about alignment. It's about using the calmest hours of the day to center yourself so that when the chaos comes, you're grounded. When the unexpected happens, you're ready. Because you've already strengthened your body, focused your mind, and set your intentions. You're not reacting all day, you're leading, and leaders create results. The truth is, every single person gets the same 24 hours. But how those hours are used is what separates the broke from the wealthy, the passive from the powerful. The difference lies in what's done when no one's watching. The decisions made in silence. The standards held when no one else will hold you accountable. The wealthy hold themselves to a higher standard, especially in the morning, because they understand that preparation beats talent and structure beats chaos. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the right things and do them early. The world belongs to the focused, the prepared, the disciplined. And it all begins before most people even open their eyes. If you can control your morning, you can control your day. If you can control your day, you can control your destiny. The morning isn't just a routine, it's a weapon. Use it. One of the most consistent patterns among millionaires is that they prioritize their minds before their money. Before they chase income, they chase clarity. Before they make big decisions, they invest time in stillness. That's why many of them begin their day with a practice most people overlook: silence. Whether it's through meditation, prayer, reflection, or just sitting in still awareness, they create space before motion. They know that a noisy mind cannot lead a focused life. And without clarity, you're just moving, not progressing. In a world that's constantly screaming for attention, silence has become a superpower. We live in an age of distraction where our first instinct in the morning is often to check our phone, scroll through notifications, and let the world flood our thoughts before we've even taken a full breath. But millionaires do something different. They reclaim those first few moments. They guard their attention like it's a bank vault, because it is. Your focus is currency. And wasting it on noise is like throwing money into the wind. When you start your day with stillness, you create a psychological edge. You're not just reacting to whatever shows up, you're aligning with what truly matters. That clarity helps you cut through the fog of unnecessary decisions. It gives you the ability to say no to distractions and yes to opportunities that align with your bigger vision. You stop being pulled in 1,000 directions because you've already decided where you're going. That's not just peace. That's power. In that stillness, something even more valuable happens. You meet yourself. You begin to notice your thoughts. You become aware of what's really bothering you, what's really exciting you, and what's silently holding you back. The wealthy don't run from those thoughts. They face them. They know the greatest enemy isn't the market, the economy, or other people. It's the unexamined mind. That's why they take the time to master their inner world before stepping into the outer one. This quiet practice may not look impressive from the outside. There are no flashy routines or expensive tools involved, but its results are undeniable. It sharpens intuition, it calms anxiety, it builds emotional strength, and when you're building wealth, true sustainable wealth, these internal strengths are far more valuable than just knowledge or strategy. Because in the long run, money flows toward calm minds and disciplined hearts. So if you want to think like a millionaire, stop trying to fill every moment with noise. Begin your day in silence. Let the world wait. Let the messages wait. Let the opinions wait. Give yourself that gift of clarity, because before you can lead a business, a family, or a movement, you have to lead your mind. And that leadership starts in the quiet. Success doesn't respond to good intentions, it responds to disciplined actions. And one of the most powerful forms of discipline practiced by millionaires is the act of planning their day before it begins. They don't leave their time to chance or emotion, they write it down, they schedule it, they visualize it. Why? Because when your day has no direction, distractions become the default. But when you give your time a mission, your focus becomes a weapon. Planning your day isn't just about productivity, it's about identity. It's about telling yourself and the world, I value my time and I refuse to waste it. Most people drift through their days reacting to what shows up. But high performers, wealthy thinkers, and strategic individuals decide in advance what matters. They wake up with purpose. They know where their time is going before the day even starts, which means they're rarely caught off guard or pulled off track. The truth is, if you don't plan your day, someone else will do it for you through their messages, requests, problems, and distractions. Your energy will be hijacked by the urgent instead of invested in the important. Planning protects your priorities. It helps you say no with confidence because you've already said yes to something greater, your future. This habit isn't complicated. You don't need a complicated system or an expensive planner. You just need a quiet moment, a clear mind, and a simple process. Every morning, or even the night before, take 5 to 10 minutes to identify your top goals. Ask yourself, what must get done today to move me forward? What distractions need to be eliminated? Who do I need to reach out to, follow up with, or learn from? This kind of intentionality sets you apart. It puts you in the mindset of a builder, not a drifter. Millionaires think in terms of outcomes, not just tasks. They don't aim to be busy. They aim to be effective. Planning the day helps them narrow their focus to the few things that actually matter. They understand that the power of success lies in consistent execution, not random effort. A well-planned day stacks up into a week of progress. A week turns into a month of growth. A month becomes a year of transformation. And before you know it, your entire life looks different. Not because of one big move, but because of thousands of small strategic days. If you want to build wealth, you must first build structure. You don't stumble into millions. You plan, you act, and you adjust with clarity. Don't wait for the day to tell you what to do. Command it, design it, own it. Your calendar should reflect your calling, not your confusion. Start planning your days like your future depends on it. Because it does. There's a habit so simple it's often underestimated, yet it's found in the daily rhythm of nearly every high achiever and self-made millionaire. Reading. Not scrolling, not mindless browsing, but intentional, focused reading. This habit isn't about entertainment, it's about elevation. Successful people understand that their mind is their greatest asset, and reading is how they sharpen it daily. They don't read to pass time, they read to compress decades of wisdom into minutes of insight. While the world wakes up to notifications and distractions, the wealthy often begin their mornings with a book, an article, a thought-provoking idea. Why? Because ideas are currency. One good idea, well understood and well applied, can change the entire direction of your business, your relationships, your finances. Books become mentors. Authors become guides. And with every page, you're stretching your perspective, learning from mistakes you didn't have to make, and absorbing principles that would take years to figure out on your own. Reading fuels the mind like healthy food fuels the body. Just as a poor diet weakens your physical strength, a lack of intellectual nutrition dulls your decision-making, creativity, and emotional control. Millionaires don't just consume, they curate. They choose material that aligns with where they're going. Whether it's business, psychology, leadership, or spiritual growth, they're deliberate about what they feed their mind. And the result is clear thinking, faster execution, and wiser choices. There's something else that happens when you read consistently. Your confidence grows. You begin to speak with clarity. You see patterns others miss. You offer value in conversations because you've taken the time to understand topics deeply. Reading doesn't just make you smarter. It makes you more persuasive, more credible, more capable. It separates you from the noise and positions you as someone who carries depth. And here's the secret most people miss. You don't need to read for hours. Even just 15 to 30 minutes a day can compound into an advantage most people never catch up with. Over time, that consistent learning builds a mental library that becomes your personal vault of knowledge. In crucial moments, when opportunities arise, problems appear, or decisions must be made, you're not guessing. You're drawing from a well of wisdom that's already been built. The ones who rise aren't always the most talented. They are often the most prepared. And reading is preparation. It's an act of discipline that says, I value growth more than comfort. I value wisdom more than entertainment. And that mindset, repeated every morning, creates a foundation for financial, emotional, and spiritual wealth. Movement is medicine, not just for the body, but for the mind and spirit. One of the most overlooked habits among successful individuals is their commitment to physical activity, especially in the morning. This isn't about building the perfect body or chasing aesthetics. It's about energy, discipline, and mental sharpness. Millionaires understand that wealth is not sustainable if your body is weak and your energy is low. They don't move to impress the world. They move to command it. When you engage in early morning movement, whether it's a full workout, a walk, a stretch session, or some form of physical exertion, you are sending a signal to yourself and your day, I'm in control. That sense of control bleeds into every other area of your life. It's not just about the calories burned. It's about the confidence gained. You begin the day by conquering resistance. While others are hitting snooze, you are strengthening your willpower. And that habit of daily self-mastery compounds more than interest in a bank account. Physical movement boosts your mental clarity. Science backs it, but experience proves it. Just 20 minutes of movement increases blood flow to the brain, reduces stress hormones, and releases endorphins that sharpen focus and elevate mood. When you're moving, you're not just burning fat, you're igniting discipline, boosting your creative thinking, and building the inner resilience necessary for the battles you'll face later in the day. Successful people aren't always motivated, they're consistent. And movement in the morning is one of their most consistent rituals. The discipline to move your body daily teaches you how to move your life forward. You begin to embrace discomfort. You start to see pain as progress. You understand the value of repetition. These lessons from the gym or the road or the mat begin to mirror life's biggest truth. Nothing grows without pressure, and nothing changes without action. Wealthy minds are built in part through sweating through limits, not just reading about them. And here's the key, it doesn't have to be extreme. You don't need a fancy gym or 2 hours to spare. You just need movement that is intentional. Movement that is consistent. Movement that reminds your body and brain that today you're showing up with power. Over time, this one simple act can transform not just your health, but your mindset. You walk differently. You speak differently. You think differently. Because you started your day with power, not passivity. Those who move early move ahead in life. Not because exercise is magical, but because it anchors identity. If you want to build a millionaire life, start by building the habits of discipline, resilience, and energy. And there's no better way to build all three than by moving your body first thing in the morning. The final habit that quietly separates high achievers and self-made millionaires from the rest is intentional gratitude. Not the shallow kind you post for likes, but the deep, reflective kind that reprograms your perspective every single morning. Gratitude is a multiplier. When you start your day focusing on what you already have, your mindset shifts from scarcity to abundance. That shift isn't just emotional. It's strategic. A grateful mind is not desperate, and desperation leads to poor decisions. But a grateful mind operates from strength, clarity, and peace. Most people begin their day already behind, already anxious. They wake up with a sense of pressure, checking messages, problems, or comparing their lives to others. But those who understand the power of gratitude take a moment before the chaos begins. They pause. They reflect. They recognize the blessings, opportunities, and even the challenges in their life as something meaningful. Gratitude isn't just spiritual, it's practical. It grounds your emotions, centers your focus, and builds mental resilience. Why is this so important? Because when you don't practice gratitude, success becomes a moving target. No matter how much you achieve, you feel empty. You keep chasing more, but never enjoy the now. Gratitude reminds you that fulfillment isn't in the destination. It's in the awareness of where you are and how far you've come. That awareness fuels happiness, and happy people attract more opportunities, build better relationships, and make better decisions. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about refusing to be blind to what is good. Successful people build their life on a foundation of perspective. They know that progress without perspective leads to burnout. That's why they incorporate gratitude into their mornings. Through journaling, meditation, prayer, or simple reflection, they might write down 3 things they're thankful for, or silently acknowledge the people, ideas, or moments that shaped them. That small act takes less than 5 minutes, but its impact lasts the entire day. It protects their mind from entitlement and shields their spirit from bitterness. When you wire your brain to see what's right before you chase what's next, you become unstoppable. Because now, you're not grinding to prove something, you're building from a place of peace. You're no longer a slave to comparison, but a steward of your own journey. That's how millionaires keep showing up with clarity and fire, not just because they want more, but because they truly appreciate what they already have. In a world that's always telling you what you lack, gratitude reminds you of what you possess. And when you operate from that space, your decisions are sharper, your energy is higher, and your purpose becomes clear. Gratitude is not soft, it's strategic. It turns ordinary moments into fuel. It builds the kind of mindset that doesn't just chase millions, it's ready to manage them.